What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So we have some unfortunate, tragic news as an undefeated fighter stepped into the ring. As I always talk about, is that we have to give all of these fighters their roses while they can smell them, because we simply never know if they're going to step out the ring the same way they stepped in the ring. And Aidos Yerbossynuly, he stepped in the ring undefeated fighter, okay? He stepped in the ring at 30 years of age, an undefeated fighter, going into one of the biggest fights of his career, or the biggest fight of his career, an opportunity at 16 wins, no losses, no draws, 11 wins by way of knockout. 30 years of age, 5'11.5" with a 71.5-inch arm reach. He was going up against a Cuban superstar and WBA regular champion at 168 pounds in David MORRELL Jr., who's 8 wins now, no losses, no draws, 7 wins by way of knockout, 24 years of age, 6'1" with a 78-inch arm reach, extremely long arms. Okay, in this fight, okay, Aidos, he took a lot of unnecessary punishment in this fight, right? Just a lot of clean, bulgering, hard, accurate punches. He just took punch after punch after punch, right? And I thought it was pretty unnecessary, all of the punishment that he took, right? I thought that the referee should have stopped the fight. I thought that his corner should have stopped the fight. Somebody should have thrown the towel. Somebody should have stopped the fight, right? And they let the fight get to the 12th round. And in the 12th round, David MORRELL just clipped him, dropped him. He was all battered and bruised and bloodied and nose bloody, eye bloody, and everybody kept giving him the benefit of the doubt because he was being active. He was letting his hands go. And as I told everybody, right, I stated that it wasn't that he was consciously being active, right? It's muscle memory, okay? If you do anything enough times, it becomes muscle memory, right? And that's what happened in this case, right? He was throwing punches, right? He was active. He was throwing punches to the body. He was walking down MORRELL. But again, it wasn't because he was consciously aware of what he was doing, because he was taking a lot of punishment. His mind, his heart, and his soul was on cruise control, right? And he was coming forward and being aggressive. You could be in a daze. You ever in a daze when you're driving home and you're daydreaming and you're driving home, and before you know it, you pull in your driveway and you don't even remember coming home. You don't even know how you got there, right? You completely forget how you got there. How did I even get home, right? You forgot you passed certain things, right? Just the other day, I was on cruise control, and I'm coming up the block, and I went right past my house, right? Drove right past it, got to the next corner, had to make a U-turn. Completely forgot where I was at, because you could be on cruise control. You do it so many times. And when you're a fighter like Aidos is, right, he repeated this cycle so many times that his body was on cruise control. Get hit, throw punches, right? He was conscious, you understand, but it wasn't like he was already done. From the 4th round, he was already done, right? And his corner should have thrown the towel. And he gets dropped badly twice. I didn't think the fight was close. Now, you had the commentators, they was talking like this was a close fight and it was a competitive fight, and you had, his corner was telling him, he was doing good, but he really wasn't, right? He did have moments because he's a good fighter, but he really wasn't that close. He got dominated from the very opening bell, right? And he took tons and tons of unnecessary punishment. Ronnie Shields, the trainer, legendary Hall of Fame trainer, Ronnie Shields, he was saying that he was surprised that they didn't stop the fight a long time ago. He took a lot of unnecessary punishment, and Ronnie Shields, before we even knew he was in a coma, Ronnie Shields was saying, I don't think that dude ever gonna fight again. A lot was taken out of him unnecessarily when he was unmatched. He was outmatched, should I say, right? He was outmatched in the fight, plain and simple. It just should not have continued. It should not have carried on. It should have been stopped, point blank and period. But it wasn't stopped, right? And because it wasn't stopped, he is in a position where he's fighting for his life now. Okay, they saying that he has bleeding on the brain. Now he's gonna have emergency. Now he's gonna have emergency brain surgery, right? He has bleeding on the brain. What's up, brother? He has bleeding on the brain. Now he's going to have emergency brain surgery. And they're saying it's not even looking good. They don't know if he's ever going to be the same, right? What state is he going to be in when he's awakened, right? It's terrible. It's terrible. All because we don't live by the mantra. We should live by the mantra, you live to fight another day, right? And we don't do it enough. See, like, all right, brother. We should live by the mantra that you live to fight another day, right? And in this sport of boxing, yeah, anything can happen. One punch can change the fight in the sport of boxing, right? And so you always have a puncher's chance, no doubt about it. You always have a puncher's chance. But when you're taking this much unnecessary punishment, you stop the fight, you live to fight another day, and then you get another opportunity, you learn from this, and you move on, right? In this case, they did him a disservice at 30 years of age. Now he could be possibly on the verge of hopefully not of losing his life. For what? To prove what? To prove that he was going to do what? So now he's going into emergency brain surgery because he's having brain injuries, bleeding on the brain, as they say. And they don't know if he's firstly, they don't know if he's going to pull through, and they don't know if he's ever going to be the same. And he's clearly never going to box again. That's not going to happen. So he's not going to fight again. This is completely avoidable. It was completely unnecessary. This is completely on the referee, and it's amazing, right? Because the referee is Tony Weeks, and Tony Weeks is a very good referee. Okay, Hall of Fame referee, one of the best referees in history of the sport of boxing. Tony Weeks is, and I'm super surprised that Tony Weeks didn't just see enough and say, "Listen, I'm not letting this continue." Again, like I said, he was coming forward, he was letting his hands go, but that's muscle memory. Okay, that's not him, consciously letting his hands go. That's muscle memory. His body is used to throwing punches. His body is used to reacting. And it's a shame that this young man, because he's 30 years of age, man. 30 years of age. You understand? It's terrible that, these fighters, okay, so here's the thing, right? You have November 14th, he'll be 31 next week. He'll be 31 next week. His birthday is next week, okay? And you always have to save the fighters from themselves. That's why the third man in the ring referee is there. That's why you have a team. It's to save the fighters from themselves. And in this case, right, they simply didn't do their job. The corner didn't do their job. The referee didn't do his job. Everybody dropped the ball. Every single one of them, they failed him. They failed him. Because every fighter is going to fight to the absolute, till they carried out, until they're in this position. And no fighter wants to be known as a quitter. That's the worst label you can have in the sport of boxing as a fighter, as a combat athlete overall. Not a single fighter wants to be known as a quitter. You just simply never get rid of that stench on your jacket. So no fighter wants that. They all going to be wanting to carry it out in this manner. So that's why you have the referee. That's why you have your team. And they all failed him. They all failed him. The sport of boxing failed Aidos this past weekend. They failed him. He was outmatched. He was out, you know, he was taking tons and tons of punishment from the very beginning. His nose was busted by the third round. He's bleeding, his nose was busted. He was breathing out, he was gasping for air. You got to save him from themselves, and the sport of boxing failed him. They absolutely failed him. And they did him a disservice. And it's unfortunate. His birthday is next week. And look at the state he's in. It's terrible. So, let's see. Hopefully, prayers up to him. Prayers up to his family, man. Hopefully, he gets better. It's unfortunate, man. It's very unfortunate. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.